That sounded like a Vex signal.
According to my database, the Vex use that noise as a greeting.
What's happening, folks? It's Trust here and welcome to Andy Scots. Today I want to show you something interesting. Just after the Guardian is reunited with the Ghost, we stumble across this neon sign. These neon signs can be found throughout Destiny 2. But at first thought, I thought nothing of it. But this time through, it rang a bell. Because it looks a lot like something that's called the Arecibo message. Now the Arecibo message is an interstellar radio message sent out into deep space in the hopes that an extraterrestrial intelligence might receive and decipher it. This message uses two means to communicate. It uses binary code and it uses pictures. Because it's logical to assume an extraterrestrial intelligence would be able to perceive light and therefore see pictures. It's also logical to assume anything able to receive this message would have access to computers and therefore binary code. The Arecibo message was the brainchild of Dr. Frank Drake and Carl Sagan. The former, Dr. Drake, also created something known as the Drake equation. The Drake equation is an educated guess at how many planets in our galaxy are home to intelligent life. The number it predicts is over 100,000. Bungie have a little Easter egg in the game for this also. I mean, we all love that tank mission, don't we? But now we have the background, let's look at this sign again. Starting at the bottom, these shapes look very familiar. Yeah, I think they look like goblins as well. They look densely packed, like an army preparing for something. Now let's have a wee look at the top. I knew I had seen the symbol before somewhere, but I couldn't place it. Then I flipped the image 180 degrees and it's the fucking Cryptarchy. So a Vex army standing before the Cryptarch. Don't leave yet, don't leave yet. Let's have a wee think about it, right? I'm pretty certain that the Vex army is coming. Because the orange bits move from the bottom away from the army towards the top, towards the Cryptarch symbol. They never move in the opposite direction. It must be that Cryptarch part that holds the key. Quite fitting actually. So let's ask ourselves what the Cryptarchs actually are. It's quite easy. They're a bunch of blue bastards. They're a bunch of scholars. They decrypt engrams, and that must be the key. We have to decrypt or decipher this. So, the Cryptarchs can usually see the answer and decrypt things where other people can't. That's the key to this, right? Before we start to decipher, I also think the Vex were a golden age human creation in order to throw back the darkness. That's what I think the Vex were created for, right? It's just my opinion and we'll get into it in future videos. Because I think this, I think it is a message for the Vex. I think that the Vex are trying to say that they have an army and they're willing for us to command it if we would just remember and stop being hostile towards them. Because you're not going to follow a commander that's fucking hostile towards you, are you? I mean, after all, the Vex being friendly and willing to communicate is a precedent that's already been set in Destiny 2. There's the story mission about Captain Jacobson and the lore of the exotic sniper rifle Darcy. Jacobson was the captain of the Exodus Black that crash landed in Nessus. Failsafe is never done talking about him and how nice he was to her. Failsafe paints a picture of someone who has a real passion for AI and robotics, and that he's very different from others in this respect. And he's different in a good way.
Remember, you said the captain is coming to meet you.
Yes, but that's not the captain. I suppose maybe he sent an escort for us, but I've never heard of anyone befriending the Vex.
Captain Jacobson was exceptionally kind to all robotic life forms.
There is another source that also confirms this, and that's Captain Jacobson himself. We find his corpse underneath some rubble at the end of the mission. We also find a log.
This is the final log of Captain Jacobson of the Exodus Black. We hoped to touch the stars, to colonize beyond our system. We failed. I couldn't save my colonists. I couldn't save my crew. I couldn't even save myself. The machines here are closing in. I think they mean to study me. If someone finds this, I would do it all again.
as you probably heard, it doesn't sound like he's scared of the Vex. It doesn't sound like he fears them. He actually sounds like he's welcoming them to research him, almost, like he says at the end. Because he's welcoming, I think the Vex are reacting in kind. And in my opinion, I think they're reverting to their original programming or directive, which was to protect humanity, which was to make sure that humanity was preserved at all costs when the darkness and the collapse fell. But somewhere along the way, we've forgotten that. So the Vex uploaded Captain Jacobson into their own mainframe, and that's how we're able to communicate with him through his memories. The exotic sniper rifle Darcy helps this theory as well, because the Darcy is talking to us. It's an AI that's sentient. It's talking to us. It's telling us why it found us. It's telling us that it's not quite chosen us yet. That it's a test run that we're serving with the Darcy right now. And the exotic ornament for the Darcy has a little picture of a harpy on it. Just ties it all together and says to me that the Vex have a similar philosophy. So what do you guys think? Press some buttons and let me know. Thank you all very much for watching Indie Scots, and we'll see you all next time.
Even broken Vex gates are pretty interesting. This one is emitting radio waves. I can almost... Okay, somehow the Vex are listening to classic rock from the Golden Age. They're death robots with good taste in music.